Oh, hello, hello. It's me. Wow. Boom. I'm still getting set up. Stood in front of my refrigerator for longer than I'd like to admit, since I forgot that I don't have, or I haven't been on a grocery run for maybe 2 weeks. So there is nothing to eat. So just standing there thinking about, man, what am I gonna eat tonight? Because usually, and then when I say refrigerator, I also mean like my pantry, because my pantry is right next to my refrigerator, right? But I'm all out of white rice. I have about 2 cups of brown rice left. So this is putting me in a weird position where I'm almost out of struggle food as well. This has never happened. Usually I'm smart enough to go stock up on more food far before this happens. But I don't know. No eggs though, that's the biggest thing. Let's get started. Boom. Wow. Okay, so I said yesterday that I was going to try doing some Pi installer stuff today, so I can get an alpha release out for both Windows and Linux more or less simultaneously. Oh, hello, hello. Hello, Needle Mouse. Oh, and there's also Demuriel as well. Don't think I mentioned your name, but there you go. Don't worry, you've been noticed by Sunpai or whatever. I don't know what weebs are into nowadays. Let me see. There's no changes to this, right? I'm looking at this. I brought this up out of habit, but I don't think I'm actually going to be doing too much development on this side today. I think I'm actually going to have to boot up my VM. All right. Cool. So let's boot up a VM and see if my computer is actually able to handle streaming, as well as face tracking, as well as running a Debian VM. This is what I generally use for compiling export templates. Actually, that's not true. I also have a Fedora Docker image I use on my Pop! OS box to compile stuff. I'm doing the level stuff in my game. Level design, surprisingly difficult, especially when you realize you don't have enough assets. Or you'll make a level and be like, "This, I had something way cooler in mind, but you know, I've only gray boxed it, so it looks like absolute garbage right now." Which is kind of true, actually. I think a lot of levels, when they're just gray boxed, and gray box means that you're, I mean, gray boxing actually has a, ooh, what the heck? Has an actual, is actually associated with a real thing where you use basically like the default meshes, right? To box out a level, or I suppose in 2D you would just be using like a placeholder square. Yeah, when you're gray boxing a level, it just doesn't feel as fun to use. Why is my VM not starting? Do I not have enough cores? This happens sometimes. Hello, TUN. Hello, hello. That is me. OMG me. I don't know. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah. Something on the file system's kind of messed up. You know what? I know what happened. Oh, that means I need to throw away the entire VM. Because I did a thing yesterday. I realized I didn't actually have like Hyper-V or any like VM sandboxing enabled. So I turned it on. And I was like, I don't know, I don't really see a difference. And this is after I restarted my computer. And then I restarted my computer again, and now it's broken. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'm pretty sure you can just force a shutdown from here. Just power off. Hit the power button. Alright. Well, I don't want to do any new development until I get Pi. Actually, can I do Pi installer? Can I do Pi installer from here? Oh, it's not. I'm not actually plugged in. I am plugged in. I have 6 animes. Is anime already plural, or is it animes to make it plural? Watched a lot of animes, or I watched a lot of anime. Is it like I ate a lot of fish, or I ate a lot of fishes? It's one of those conundrums. Don't mind me, I'm poking at something on my other computer. Does that make me a weeb? Maybe like an intro level weeb. Oh, don't look at that. May or may not be a place I was looking at moving to. Let's see. I really should just be using like incognito mode. Let me see. Pi installer. So this is a Google Groups kind of thing. Edit on GitHub. I don't actually want to edit this on GitHub. 9.4. Can I cross compile a Pi installer thing? Works out of box with any Python version 3.7 to 3.10. Yeah. We only officially support Windows 8 Plus. That's fine. Just run it against your main script. Can I do this from Windows, or do I need to run this from Linux? If I need to run this from Linux, I guess we can sit here while I try to boot a Debian image. Install Arch? Absolutely not. If you're going for backwards compatibility, you have to use the oldest version possible. Bundling to one file. How the one file? Options. Yeah. I like it when my packages are tested. You know, it's the classic developer conundrum. I used conundrum twice this stream, so I'm going to stop using it. But you know, the developer can barely trust their code. I don't have enough time to worry about other people's code being wrong. Right. That's why it always boggles my mind when I see like questions about like common library, very, very common libraries. I think I found a bug in the library, and then here's my code, and then the code is just absolute garbage. And it's like, yeah. You know, you need to trust the library and then force yourself to write good code. And then once you know that your code is rock solid, then you can start blaming the library. Unfortunately, I don't really do rock solid code. That's not how I do things. It's easy now. Yeah, well, if you just do one of the, you know, the hand-holdy distributions, sure. Or you can just follow, isn't there like a install Arch instructions? VirtualBox. Yeah. I mean, it's you really just Google the instruction and it just works, right? Especially when you're doing it in a VM, it doesn't really make sense. All right, let's do Python. Which Python is this? Python 3.9. I'm gonna run off a dead OS. It's their issue. Well, I mean, I run off of a like I'm still on Fedora 34, so Like, I like my environment being extremely stable. But Arch is a little too bleeding edge. I think the newest distribution I would consider building any software on is probably one of the Ubuntu LTS distributions. I think that makes sense. Okay, so it's called scripts on Windows. Got to remember that. But we're still going to use this. Arch install, no, you just have to connect to Wi-Fi and type Arch install. Does Arch come with Arch install? Arch install. Doesn't that take some of the fun out of using Arch? Give you options like the mirrors and desktop environment, other stuff. That sounds boring. I thought the entire point of Arch install Arch was that you can configure everything how you want it to be configured. If you use this, now you might as well just use, I don't know, like literally anything else. I guess, if you want to retain users, I suppose. Alright, which pip version are we on? Alright, pip. Oh, you can't search using pip anymore, right? Using PyInstaller. PyInstaller. How do we get PyInstaller? Pip. Alright, so I'm already inside the VNV. The venv, if you will. Didn't see anything about cross-compiling, but maybe it'll be fine. All right, set up, blah, blah, upgrading. I don't need to upgrade. Still an option to do the regular Arch installation? Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter anyways, right? All this stuff is just following instructions. It's not hard. I don't need a script to do it for me. Like, I would think, in my opinion, if you're going to do something, you might as well just go all the way, right? So, like, I don't know, like, if you want, like, a hand-holdy one, you know, all you got to do is click through the prompts. Just use, like, Fedora or something. Use Fedora, use Ubuntu, Pop! OS. I've never used OpenSUSE, but I think OpenSUSE also does that. You have a GUI thingy that you can just follow along with. If you want to be able to customize whatever you get, then use Arch, use Gentoo, whatever. I think Slackware also you need to compile all your stuff. Okay. So if we go to resources, extensions, OpenCFace folder. Don't make fun of the folder name. Is needed. Okay. Actually, this is the PyInstaller version. I shouldn't PyInstaller. I shouldn't PyInstaller this because it's already PyInstalled. I need to grab. Do I still have OpenCFace on here? No, I only have OpenCFace GD. New users, if they want to use Arch Stream, just slow down with the messages. Did it? Or are you saying that I'm slowing down because I'm reading too much? I'm just thinking. I'm running it through my head. I guess we'll try the newest stuff here. Give me your search history. Why are you a poop? You can randomize your avatar if you want. Just give it a try. No, but you may not have your you may not have my search history. That would be weird. Actually, what is on my search history? Let me check it off screen just to make sure it's not weird. Yeah, it's not weird. Yeah, okay, that's fairly normal. Look at that. That's fairly normal. So we have Arch install. This is roughly where the stream started. I'm not going to show you what I was looking at on that image, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. I don't know. Was reading some Twitter manga. Was reading some actual manga before that. don't remember why. Okay, so I'm still in the VNV. Actually, I should get out of the VNV. What the heck? Deactivate. Now we do Python module venv. Just to make sure we're all clean. Your credit card info and your social security number. So my credit card number, got it memorized. Off the top of the dome piece, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And the 3 digits on the back of that credit card are 420. Did you get that? It's pretty hard to remember. Are you good with C++? I'm okay with C++. I've written a few C++ modules. So if you go to my profile, which you can find under my GitHub, there we go. C#, Carbon. Oh yeah, I have 10 years of experience with Carbon. So one of my main selling points, really. Why is it a spec? Or is a spec file just what Anaconda uses on Windows? I'm not familiar. The main entry point should be tracker, I think. I'm pretty sure it's, or is it face tracker? Pi. Why am I doing it like this again? Okay, yeah, it is face tracker, not tracker. Tracker is different. So we'll just do pip install pi installer, and then we'll see if we can compile from here. Otherwise, I'll need to set up a new virtual machine, and I don't want to do that. I wonder why Google, yeah, it was Google, is making another programming language. Well, Google has, or they publicly confirmed that they have just like company-wide like hack days. So you are just allowed to work on whatever side project you want to work on as long as it's relevant to what Google does, right? That's how Golang was created, is it was just someone's pet project. They wanted an AOT compiled language that was, you know, had really good it's not multi-threading, coroutine support. Where coroutine is like a thread. It's like a lightweight thread. It's a green thread, if you will. All right, so we'll pi installer .exe, absolutely not. Give me the help. No, we'll just make this big. I don't like adjusting my terminal windows. I don't know if that makes me a weirdo. Technically, anyone can make a programming language and environment for it. 4.5 second delay. That 4.5 seconds is not bad. I think even on low latency mode, it's still only about 3 seconds. It's a 3 second delay. Name a script file to be processed or exactly one .spec file. Does this have a .spec? Oh my god, this does have a .spec file. But that also means that I can excuse me, what the heck? All right, it's gonna be a little more difficult than I thought it would be. Because these use DLLs, but that's not possible for me. Okay, hold on. Because if I want to compile this to, or run this on Linux, you can't use DLLs. But it does work on Linux, which is why I'm a little confused. How does it work on Linux? Have you worked into changing OpenCFace quality options yet? Should be possible. It just needs to be implemented. You could potentially implement it yourself as well. because now everything's compiled, or not everything is compiled in. Actually, most things are not compiled in. So if you wanted to change quality options for OpenC Face, you can ignore most of this part. The important bits are here. So you have some sort of data, blah, blah, and then these fields, hold on, I don't know why I scrolled back up. These fields, these are the fields that are inserted into the thingamajig. And then here, the GUI, you just need to make a new field for the GUI, yeah. So the associated GUI options, blah, blah, then these are all passed as execution parameters, something like that. Programming Arduino IDE. I've used the Arduino IDE before. I made an LED blink on and off. It's pretty impressive. It impressed most of my classmates who were, this was in university as well. It's very sad. Anyways, this is not what I need to be looking at. Yeah, why did I open this up in a different window? Just move this to the bottom window, I suppose. So we're looking at the spec file. All right, what do you got? Yeah, this is a Ruby thing. Yeah, a .spec file. Is Tim Yuen Chinese? Find out next week on here. You could just look up, like, where is the last name Yuen from? Yuen is not a very common last name to see outside of Hong Kong. As far as I understand it, Yuen is more of it's kind of a lower class last name. It's which is kind of how you can profile people beforehand. And it's like, oh. No, he has a very common last name, like NG. But I mean, that's how it's pronounced, by the way. You know, NG. That's a very common one that come out of Hong Kong. Yap. Yap's also another good one. Actually, Yap might be more of a Malaysian Chinese now I'm thinking about it. But Yuan, not too many Yuans. Ron.bat. I wonder what this is doing. I think you can you run DLLs on Linux? Porting dynamic link libraries. Oh, interesting. What the heck? The library that allows native Linux programs to load and call functions from a Windows DLL. Looks complicated. I'm gonna see if I can avoid doing this for the time being. I think it should be possible. It should be possible if I just use my brain. Instead of using 10% of my brain, let's see if I can use 11%. Really kick it into gear. Encrypting, no. Options. I don't think we need options. Or actually, I should be Googling like PyInstaller Windows to Linux. PyInstaller Windows to Linux. If I had to guess, Yuan would be Vietnamese. I don't want to be called a racist. You never. I'm pretty sure I just explicitly mentioned that Yuan is a Hong Kong last name, but I guess you can call Hong Kong Vietnamese. If you ignore the fact that there were the Yellow Umbrella riots a few years back during the pandemic as well, where thousands of, well, not thousands, officially it was hundreds of university students were beaten and raped in Hong Kong jails. But yeah, you know, and those riots were because of how the Chinese government was accelerating the plans to reintegrate Hong Kong into China's sphere of influence, because actually Hong Kong used to be basically was the Singapore before Singapore, and then after Hong Kong fell, and then Singapore started to really rise. China decided to flex their muscles and take it over anyways. But yeah, you know, Hong Kong's Vietnamese. We all know that. That's why China built a, you know, high-speed electric rail. High-speed rail to and from Hong Kong. Makes sense to me. Typed it before you answered? Did you? This is very rude. Okay, so you have to run it in Linux. Okay, sure. If you don't compile OpenC Face around on Linux, I'm not sure why you would need to, but OpenC Face is the face tracker that is currently being used for the application right now. So OpenC face tracker. What's it called? Carbon. So just a name starting with C. Yeah. So, by the way, OpenC Face on Windows is actually compiled down to a single binary, which makes it really easy, right? The big thing I would like to point out is that this is the code for starting the face tracker on Windows. It's very succinct. We just pass in all the necessary flags. I think quality is somewhere in here. But here, it's very complicated because it uses a multitude of scripts in order to do roughly the same thing. And then even then, you'll still run into like Python version problems. So I'm trying to avoid messing with it too much. If possible, I would like to unify this, right? So the only thing that would need to be platform specific would be the name of the binary, right? Here, it's just the script, and then this script creates a VNV for you, downloads all the packages, and then starts it using your system Python, which is very complicated. I really don't want to have to maintain this because I barely understand how this works. It was only through the help of some community members that helped. It's OS dependence. And I don't want to run Docker on Windows. Docker performance on any machine other than a Linux box is garbage. All right, well, let's do this on Debian, and then I'll just need to be very careful about how I set up a new Debian VM. So we'll call this, or actually I'm gonna, is there something I can do here? I've recently changed how some of this stuff works. You want to avoid future Python versions since Onyx runtime is on 3.10 now? Well, no, I want it so that the code for starting the face tracker is just more consistent, right? Going back to this, right? Like this is very easy to read, in my opinion. This could actually just be all on one line, but I broke it out so it's more readable. It looks like it's a lot of stuff, but it's not really. Right, this is facetracker.exe, exe path. And then these are all the flags. Right, it's beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal. Right, that's how I want to pack it. On Linux and OS X, but I've not really tested on OS X. We need to create the VNV, download all the packages, and then we also do have to check for your system Python version somewhere. It's in one of these scripts, I don't remember. And then pass all these things to a script, and then that script, it does a thing. We can find it. What's the thing that it does? It's a really old commit. Let me see. When did I... Where's the pre... Yeah, pre-super cleanup. So if need be, I can always go back to using the scripts. I would really rather not, though. Right, so then we need to create the VNV. So we check for your Python version. For most Python versions, it should be fine. But whenever... The scary part is whenever they go to Python 3.11, right? And we might be in the same kerfuffle. If we can bundle it, it would be better, right? So then we do this, Python command, VNV, whatever. And we create the VNV in your user data directory. We activate it, and then we install all that stuff, right? Using the shell script. And then we just have this thing. Because I think because of the VNV, it should be using the appropriate Python version, probably. Something like that. And then it just works from there. It doesn't actually create, or it doesn't leave the previous shell process active, though. So I guess I'm a little suspicious as to how this has been working in the past. But yeah, anyways, it's very complicated. And prone to breaking. That's why I want to do it like this. I think that you need the VNV stuff. If the dependencies are installed system-wide, at least on Flatpak, there shouldn't be an issue. On Flatpak, yes. On Flatpak, it's not an issue at all. That's easy. But you should never install application-specific dependencies on your system Python. That's very, very bad practice. I think if any software did that to me, I would file it as a bug report. And if they don't solve it, then it's malware, right? You should never dirty the host environment. Let me see. I guess I can just create another Debian one. Debian, call it Debian 2. Something changed. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure I know what changed, but it's hard for me to say. How many megs does this have? This has... I gave this one roughly 8. I don't know. I have a lot of RAM. We'll create a new virtual hard disk. I don't remember which one's better. Sure, dynamic. We need more than that. We give it 64. I have 2 terabytes. Debian 2. And then we'll just go through the install process. Hopefully this should start. I remember there were some things I needed to do. Oh no, is that why there's no startup disk? Did I get rid of it? You with 1,000 plus Python dependencies installed on your system? I've got bad news for you. Your system's about to explode. And I'm about to melt. I'm gonna go turn on a fan. How easy. The fan button is right behind me. All right, so I don't have Debian 11 because this is not here anymore. Did I accidentally delete it? Or close it? Kill it. Hard power off. This is just gonna be a lot of me fumbling around. I don't remember what I was doing with my VMs. Or at least where I put my disk images. Like where's the image for this again? Oh my god. I think I deleted the disk image. I'm sad. I'm a big dummy. I'm a big dummy. Okay, let's download a Debian VM then. Debian Linux. Give me the previous one. Download. Sure. This 11.4, that's fantastic. Give me the ISO, please. We'll just download it in real time. All right, looks good. Start this again and we'll just insert the disk into it. Or at least it should be asking for a disk. No bootable medium found, system halted. That's true, that's true. Give me a shutdown. Power off. How do you insert a disk in Debian again? It's startup disk processor. You should have 4 processors. But anyways. Isn't it controller? Optical drive, live CD, isn't it? I thought it was like this, maybe it wasn't. Or do I need to insert the ISO like this? Choose a disk file, choose, yes. So let's add, it's just kind of here, choose. And we might have to reboot. Storage, is it under storage? Reset me, yeah. Ooh. Popped it down here. All right, it's gonna be very small. It's very small for me as well. Give me the graphical install, I don't really care. And then we'll figure out the rest of the PyInstaller stuff on Linux, if it's even possible. The presence of the DLLs is making me kind of nervous. Yeah, is it under storage? That was under optical drives. Or maybe storage is under optical drives. All right. I think I need to wait for this to install and then I can start resizing it. But before that, it won't resize correctly. So have no fear. This is also extremely tiny for me as well. I assure you. Host name, Debian, beautiful. We'll call it Debian 2 actually. Domain, I don't know, Debian 2, why not? I don't really have a host org. This is something I never really understood. And they're just jumping in during my lunch break. Nice. I've got bad news for you in that I am struggling. I've made a few changes to my PC. I enabled Hyper-V on Windows, and now the Debian VM I was using no longer works. Guess what the password I'm using is? Admin. Username for, oh, actually, full name for the new user. Yeah, I'm admin. Oh my god, all right. Root password. Definitely not password. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do some PyInstaller stuff. Actually, oh, this is the root password. All right. And then this is the user account, which is, okay. I remember now. Have no fear. The root user might have its password set the password, and I might have set the actual user. Yeah, send it. Yeah, I don't know. So we have Tim as the user, and then Tim as the password. It's impossible to forget, unless you forget the username, but you know. Please no hackerinos, my VMarinos. Yeah, I'm trying to package OpenCFace, which is the face tracker that this uses. So this is actually already prepackaged by Upstream for Windows. But I'm trying to package it for Linux, so it simplifies pretty much everything. So I don't have to go through the super painful process of going through running these two scripts. Get video devices is still technically necessary, I guess. But these two scripts, I'm hoping to get rid of them so I can just have the one binary. It won't be an exe on Linux. It'll just be a executable. So it makes it easier to also redistribute, because I think PyInstaller bundles in the Python interpreter, and then it should just work, maybe. Scan additional or scan extra installation media. No, United States. Give me. No, actually, Debian should be fine. If necessary, I can change it to MIT. Blank for none. Suppose I should be using Georgia Tech, because that's actually closer. That's the closest one. Yeah. Watch in real time as streamer installs a VM. Let's see. While it's doing that, let's take a look at this very scary piece of code. I wonder where this stuff comes from, or if dshow capture, does this have an equivalent on Linux? Or is this like a... Oh. Is this like a Windows specific thing? But then if it's a Windows specific thing, how is it working on Linux? No, this is a Windows only thing. It's actually good content to watch someone struggle with a VM install. Yeah. I don't usually install things in a VM too often. Participate in a survey? Absolutely not. Bare metal on a... What laptop do I have? It's like a T560, something like that. That one's usually pretty easy. Give me XFCE. I like XFCE. I strongly dislike GNOME, but I know how to use it. Or I suppose it's more of like, I really like the Windows XP feel. Which is why I use XFCE. All right. We're still installing. So I wonder if these aren't necessary. So PyInstaller is in here twice. Seems interesting. What is this doing? Isn't this... This is an Anaconda thing, isn't it? Or no? I'm not familiar with that shebang. For Ben in binaries, it starts with OpenCV video. How? How would it ever start with OpenCV video? Yeah, corelib. So yeah, this is bundling a bunch of Windows specific stuff. I don't think I need that. I just need to bundle all the packages, I think. Because if it works on Linux, then it's beautiful, right? Is my VM done? Might take a little bit. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to do this in my off time. PyInstaller. Thank you for redeeming a hydrate. Remember to drink water. Don't just drink gin on the rocks like a total degenerate. Not that I'm doing that right now or anything. Here we go. 300 milliliters down the hatch. Alright, so this is some sort of code project thing. I don't know. Where's my PyInstaller window? I had that up at some point. PyInstaller. Okay, so, well, this is load library, but I don't need that. Using PyInstaller. Give me what's the using spec files? Yeah. First thing PyInstaller does is to build a spec file. If I was trying to get the sweet dog, hold on. I can give you the sweet dog. Good old pupper. Where are you? I need to separate it. Hold on. There we go. Don't give it to me. Okay. It's okay. We can make you a duck. You can create a spec file. 4 cases where it's useful to modify the spec file when you want to bundle data files with the app. You want to include runtime binaries, DLL or SO files. When you want to add Python runtime options to the executable, and when you want to create a multi-program bundle with merged common modules. You can create a... Maybe I don't even need to do any of this stuff. Because I guess on Linux, it just kind of falls apart. So when you run this on Linux, what the heck? Yeah, when you run this on Linux, it just doesn't use any of these. Maybe that's how that works. I had the real purple man. He took him away. I'm sorry. I can bring you back. I can make you green instead. Would that make you happy? Yeah. Where's my VM at? Please. ManDB. I believe in you. You can do it. You cannot play God. No, I will. That's the best part about being the streamer. You have total control. Except over my operating system. It's not Windows' fault in this. At this current juncture, it's not Windows' fault though. It's because I created the first VM I had. I created before I enabled Hyper-V for some reason. Although I thought you needed to have Hyper-V enabled. I thought you needed to have Hyper-V enabled if you wanted to have a VM. Install the grub bootloader. Sure. Send me. Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know. I don't remember that option being in the previous one. Most of the time I just use the defaults. And also, I think my mouse pointer broke. So hopefully I don't need to click on anything. Installation is complete. Yeah, continue me. So it should be rebooting. The window should freak out. And then, beautiful. And then there's something I needed to do with the view so that it will expand. No! It's the same thing. Failed to send host log message. Is it because it can't read? I wasted all this time just for it to explode. Got the cute mushroom dude. I'm happy now. Hello, happy now. I'm Team Ewan. I'm glad that you're happy that you're a mushroom. We're in the wizened words of our forefathers. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Yeah, okay. So there's something with the... It's not able to read... I don't know, actually. There's some sort of error. I think it is able to read the... like the virtual file system. Oh, no. Maybe it's here. Maybe it worked. Maybe I just needed to wait. Maybe the previous one also worked. Activating... This feels a lot slower than it usually is, though. If it's not exploded, then it's not on. Is there a snake one too? There used to be a lot more. They are no longer with us because I accidentally deleted them all. Oh, this is beautiful. Go to settings. So there's something about display, and then I can just jack this up. We'll do this. Oh, that's 4x3. Don't do 4x3 like a psycho. Why are these all 4x3? Where's my 16x9? There's a 16x10. Apply me. Yeah, keep this configuration. And then we can make it a bit bigger. Why not? Explode me to 16x10, a lot bigger. Looks about the same, honestly. Oh, no, that's not good. Hold on. Isn't it, isn't there something you can do here? I don't want to do full screen mode. Don't do scaled mode. It's one of these things, right? It's not quite what I wanted, but it's close enough. Yeah, pretty much all the characters that don't have the super thick lines, those are from one of my itch.io games. I believe it was, yeah, Super or Giant Horse Death Ball. Yeah, that's free and open source. All right, give me the terminal. This is just super gross. So, okay, so we only have Python 3, I'm assuming. Okay, we only have Python 3. That's good. So then I'll go to, what web browser do we have? Firefox. Okay, so we'll clone that. I might have to, don't you need to install like core utils or something like that on Debian? If you want to get Git. Oh no, what's happening? We're frozen. We're frozen. UI is frozen. How do you switch to a different TTY? It's Control Alt F2? No, we're unfrozen now. Okay. It just took a little bit. I might need to restart and give it a bit more memory. Or maybe it's just on first boot, Firefox is garbage. That's almost certainly it. And also the VM is very, very weak. Well, I mean, it has 8 gigs and 4 cores. That's not too bad. That's actually pretty good. That's good enough to run Firefox, I think. Install Git. You don't only need that. Yeah, probably. And then Python should install the rest. Or PyInstaller should grab the rest. I hope. I'm still waiting. It's very, very slow. And also reading in my commands way too quickly. Yeah, there's a ton of input lag. Hold on, let's just nuke the machine. Just hard shutdown. Actually, let's go back to the previous one. Maybe the previous one would just work. I want to use the previous one. This one actually booted. Even, yeah, and it still gives me this stuff as well. Maybe I just needed to wait a little bit more. Copium, etc., etc. But this one takes... Oh. I mean, I gave it the same specs. Yeah, see? Recovering journal, yeah. Because this is using system criddle, or system control. Don't say criddle. I guess we'll just wait. It loaded once, it'll load again. And give me this, I'll drag this down to the bottom screen. Spec files. UPX, sure. Path extension, hook paths. Most of these look fine. It's only these DLLs which look different. And I suppose also the path extension also needs to be modified. I wonder what remove bin is, or remove data. So the binaries. Okay. So it's everything in binaries as long as they're not in the remove bin. Okay. Sure. Oh, we're back. Okay, it just took forever. Turns out I didn't need to create a second VM. Alright. This is very slow though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Please, sir. Am I just gonna suffer from horrendous input lag the entire time I'm doing this? I might have to pivot off this and just do this in my actual free time. On a real machine. And then later figure out why my VirtualBox stuff is... No, like what? Is it just my terminals that are super slow? Eh? Or is it just like the DE that's really, really slow? What the heck? Probably should stop buffering more and more inputs to it, if I had to guess. Yeah, I might have to pivot. Ooh. All right. So this one we can just delete it. I don't think it's necessary. Although I do need to think about what's going on here. Does anything weird happen? Did any of these things change? So the controller, USB, there shouldn't be any. There should be a VM shared, and there is a VM shared. User interface, storage, I mean, it looks fine, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Remote display, nope. These are all fine. I/O. That's seems okay to me. Don't need any of these. Execution cap at 100 looks okay. There's no disk encryption. There is a snapshot. I wonder if that might be corrupted. I don't know. All right. This is clearly borked though. Let's just reset it. Okay. Just try it one more time. Not using Hyper-V in the VM is painful. Well, actually, this all started to happen because I wasn't using Hyper-V. Or no, I am using Hyper-V now. I didn't have Hyper-V enabled, but now that it's enabled, it's super slow. All I want to do is run PyInstaller. You didn't enable in the VM? Is that a VM option? Where? Or is it just here? Acceleration isn't this correct? Are these not the correct parameters? How do you check to see if Hyper-V is enabled? VirtualBox Hyper-V. Sure. Virtualization. The CPU icon in the VM window status bar indicates that Hyper-V is being used. There's no picture, so I don't know what it looks like. But it's using VTX. Something's happening in the preview window, so that's good. Oh, that's good. Look at that. Why is it so out of memory? That's what I'm confused about. How much memory do I have? I have 32 gigs. And an extremely beefy CPU. So that shouldn't be the problem. Power usage very high. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm running a desktop. Ooh, you know what? I think Windows might be lying to me. I think it's possibly using more than I think it is. But even so, I think it's still fine. Like, even if it's just using double. I mean, double memory is bad. But even if it's just, like, using double CPU than what it's reporting, it should still be okay. Yeah, I'm only at 18% utilization. I mean, I'm at 50% memory usage, which is, that's pretty ridiculous. And they said I was crazy when I said I wanted 32 gigs of RAM. No, the fact that Task Manager is starting to, I can feel it crawl whenever I, like, interact with it. There's something wrong. I'm not sure what. Let's kill the machine. Imagine only 36. Yeah, sorry, I'm not running a server. All right, let's kill this. Just hard shut down. I don't know. System, acceleration. Oh, do I need to tell it to use Hyper-V specifically? Will that make a difference? The docs say it should be using Hyper-V if Hyper-V is enabled. But I don't know. I don't really know what I'm looking for in terms of what's being used. Acceleration, VTX, AMD V, Hyper-V. Okay, now it says Hyper-V Paralight. Para virtualization. We'll give it one more shot. If it doesn't work, we'll just move on with our lives and do this later. I'm liking the black screen though. It's very calming. Reminds me of the depths of the soul of man. It's like a mirror inside my own soul. An empty void. All right. I think I might need to kill it. I'll put it down. I'll figure it out later. Actually, one more try. One more try. Hyper-V. I can't... I don't think KVM is correct. KVM is a... that's what you use on Linux. That's what you use on Linux. You know what? What's calculator? 8192 times 2. Give me. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. If I give it 16 gigs of RAM, do you think it's going to eat 16 gigs of RAM? Enable the 2 options under processor. I wish I could give it more video memory. Yeah, I guess 16 gigs is a little low. I'll give it 32. Monitor counts. I know this is something I can't control, or I shouldn't touch. This one, isn't this one nested VT AMD V is if you want to run a VM inside of your VM? Isn't that what that's for? Anyways, it's using KVM para virtualization anyways. Send me. All right. black screen again, but at least we have the little pointer. Oh man, the mainframe that we have to work with at work has about 1 terabyte of RAM. I'm not sure how that works though. I think it's just, I don't think it's actually RAM. I think it's like schedulable memory that's given to our LPAR, logical partition, which is why it sometimes lies when it's reporting how much RAM we're using, because we've gone to 101% utilization before. I always give it max video memory possible. I don't think it's the video thing that's, well, it might be. It's possible, yeah, but I don't know. To be fair, I've never run this while I was streaming and also face tracking myself, so it's possible I am like, it is an out of memory issue. It's extremely possible. But this is giving me pause. But yeah, anyways. Mainframes. We have about 1 terabyte of usable RAM, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually RAM. But if we want to have more like outgoing or egress or ingress network ports, we actually need to send an email to whatever team manages the actual mainframe box and say like, hey, can you like flip a switch and give us another network port? Because that's actually something that you run into a lot when you're dealing with spinning up Kubernetes clusters on a mainframe, right? Because you're scheduling it for workloads that it wasn't really meant to do. I'm not actually sure what a mainframe runs by itself. I suppose it just runs COBOL or something, perhaps some Fortran. I don't know. I don't really interact with that layer of the mainframe. We're not making good utilization of the mainframe resources since we do run like a RHEL 8 VM that takes up the entire LPAR. At least I think it takes up the entire LPAR. And then I'm not sure where the clusters are being deployed actually. I think they're deployed to another LPAR. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to kill it. I'll try this later when the stream's down. Because it says it's running, but I'm not even able to log in. So something doesn't seem correct. What does show log do? I'm not familiar with this. VBox, sure. I don't know. Hyper-V. These are the past log messages, yeah. This is the current log message. I'm looking for anything that looks like an error message. And unfortunately, I see a lot of things that look like an error message. So this is good. And this is top to bottom, right? Yeah. Try to go with a max video memory. If not, then it is what it is. Yeah. Then I'll just have to figure something out later. All right. Tag successfully. Yeah. So it mounted it. Yeah. This looks wrong. Is it like the audio thing is bad? Guest seems to be unresponsive. Last heartbeat received 4 seconds ago. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead. RIP, flatlined. No heartbeat. Alright, one more try. Fallen server TeamViewer on my PC. No. I don't even have TeamViewer installed anymore. I used to have TeamViewer because one of the gigs I was working wanted to do a bunch of team viewers. Are you sure I can do max video memory? Is that not going to screw with this? Because I only have... How much does this RTX 3080 have? Oh, actually, it has 16 gigs. Okay, well, that's fine then. Whatever. Send it. Yeah, no, I used to have TeamViewer on my PC, and then at some point, Windows decided that it was a virus, and then just kind of removed it for me. Or they quarantined it and was like, would you like to delete it? And I was like, don't delete it, but I'm going to uninstall it. Something doesn't seem right. I think I know why it was flagged as a virus, right? Is that a lot of scams happen over TeamViewer, so you like install TeamViewer and you give like the scammer control. And so then it just kind of gets lumped into like malware, even though it isn't actually malware. It's used for malicious activities. But no, I don't have TeamViewer anymore. I remember Skype. I used to do a lot of stuff using Skype screen share on my personal computer. And actually on my client's computer, we still use Skype quite a bit for screen share, which is somewhat amusing, but we've had to move over to, what's it called? Teams? That's a fun one. I kind of really dislike Teams. It's like, it's too much. I don't need all this fancy stuff. I just need to talk to people and then see if they're online or not. Ah, look at that. How old? Hey, Skype at the time was pretty sick. Oh my god, was it actually a video RAM thing? There's no way, right? Yeah, okay. Just hit enter a few times. Yeah, but at the time, Skype was the thing to have, right? At first it was AIM. I think AIM stands for AOL Instant Messenger, and then AOL stands for America Online. AIM was a little before my time though. I was more on Skype and Facebook actually. Like Facebook chat, man, that was the thing. I suppose there was also some MySpace stuff in there as well, but I was never really into MySpace. Man, I was on top of that Facebook stuff when it first dropped. All right, yeah, this is not working, by the way. I don't know what's going on. So we'll just have to do this later. So we'll kill it. Say goodbye. No more VMs for a while. Until I maybe just disable all the Hyper-V stuff. So, I mean, I can actually show... Oh, it's me. That's my face. Get out of here. That's my face when I still had hair. Doxed? Yeah. It's not like it's the first thing that shows up when you Google my name, though. Oh, and I forgot that I still have the other screen on. Tim Yuan. Actually, I'm no longer the first one that shows up. Now it's the other Timothy Yuan that is also in computer science and really messes up all my SEO stuff. Because Google has a thing where you can set up like an alert and it'll tell you when like there's a big news article that mentions your name and whatever topic. So of course I set it to my name, right? And anything related to, you know, technology, but then that guy I always get emails for that guy because he's also in computers, but he's like a professor for like behavioral computer stuff. All right, so I'm assuming if I turn off Windows Subsystem for Linux, the hypervisor platform, and then virtual machine platform, this will just go back to how it used to work, maybe. Anyways, I think this will probably work if I modify, or maybe I don't even modify, just take out this facetracker.spec file and then just run PyInstaller anyways. But for now, we'll just go back to regular programming stuff. I don't have a solution. Actually, hold on. I just realized I have WSL installed. How do you do... Okay, we'll just do it live. How do you do WSL? WSL, Windows. What is... Yeah. Do I not have it installed? I enabled it. Bring me the CMD. WSL. Oh, this... Oh. Yeah. I think I'm already past that, right? WSL. Okay, so I just need to install a distribution then, right? Okay, no, I don't. And there's also no help command. Oh, there is a help flag, but there's no help command, which is very cool. I don't have anything installed. WSL status, default version 2, blah, blah, blah. Kernel not found. Okay, good. Fantastic. All right, well, that was a gargantuan waste of time. I'm very happy about that. It was content, yes. If you enjoy listening to me ramble on about sweet nothings, you've come to the right place. Talked in circles for about... How long have I been live? About an hour? More than an hour? Talked in circles for more than an hour. We're back where we started. Well, at least I have a bit more understanding about what I'm supposed to do for the PyInstaller stuff, at least. So I think it'll just work. It won't be as optimal, but at least it'll be easier to redistribute. So I think I'm going to start building out that stuff real quick. So I'll just need to change OpenC face. I'm not going to keep the script stuff. I think that's kind of extraneous. I'm going to start installing Void Linux. Isn't Void Linux... It does something special with how it does packaging. I actually don't remember what the difference between Void Linux and other Linuxes is. I know NixOS has a very fancy package manager that you can actually install pretty much anywhere else, really. Like I used to use Nix, the package manager, on my Mac before I got sick of it and just went back to Brew. So we don't want to match here. Or we do want to match, but we don't want to do all of this stuff, I guess. Or, I mean, we do want to do this stuff, but we want to do it outside of this match statements. Hello, sudo Pedro. What Linux uses run it, while other distros use systemd. And a run it is the... I'm going to need a... I know what systemd is. Run it is by who? It's an init system, right? So I assume that you also don't have like systemd journal and all that, journal cradle. It's supposed to be faster. Like, didn't Ubuntu used to have their own as well? Before they just used systemd, because everyone uses systemd because of rel. Or maybe this should just be like exe extension. Binary extension. And then this is really easy, right? It's just some sort of string is equal to if os get name to lower is equal to Windows, else nothing. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It is like a nothing extension on other OSs. So that's your binary extension, and then your exe path should still be the same, yeah. And then it'll probably just be called face tracker, yeah, face tracker. Something like that. So that's your exe path. Bum bum. Oh, not like that. I'm gonna install Arch on my old PC, so if I mess up on Void or give up, I can just install Arch on a USB on the old PC and install it on my main. Could always just keep like a Puppy Linux or something on a little flash drive. Do people still use Puppy Linux? I remember that's what I was told way long ago. Like, always keep a backup Puppy Linux thing on a flash drive, and you'll be able to save any PC. If only because you can boot into the live CD on Puppy Linux, save states on your flash drive, and then you can do all the other stuff that one would need to do. All right, I think this makes sense, and then we'll just get rid of pretty much everything here. Yeah, everything inside the match is unnecessary. Yeah, because I'm getting rid of all the other stuff. And actually, I can make this even more incomprehensible, like so. Var PID is some sort of integer. It's beautiful. See, this is the API that I would like to have. Like, or not the API, but this is how I would like the code to look, as opposed to having that giant match statements that needs to differentiate between Windows and Linux. I would rather have something like this, where it's just, we execute it. I can keep, actually. Yeah, no, yeah, I can keep both of these here, and then when I'm distributing the application, I can just swap out this folder. So there's the Windows folder, so we'll just slap the Windows stuff into there, and then there's the Linux or the POSIX compatible stuff. Or it might not even be POSIX compatible, because I'm assuming, like, for the Mac PyInstaller stuff, I would need to run PyInstaller there as well. And then I might not be able to do that because I only have an M1 Mac. But all the other commands should be the same, which means, if I remember correctly, under OpenCFace, there is a flag for quality. What was it called? Does anyone know off the top of their head, or do I need to read this? This might not even be relevant for this because I have a very old version of OpenCFace on my computer. It's one of these. I know I have the FPS flag. Camera or capture? Yeah, camera. Camera, capture, whatever. Detection. Try hard. Nope. Video FPS. Gaze tracking. Defaults to 1. Yeah. Benchmark. Wasn't it in the README actually? Now I'm recalling more and more. Oh yeah, you can select the model to use. Right. This can be used to select the tracking model. Higher numbers on models with better tracking quality but slower speed except for model 4, which is Wink optimized Models 1 and 0 tend to be too rigid for expression and blink detection. Model... Eh? What? It's kind of a bonkers way of doing it. So it goes from 0 to 4, but then the negative numbers are just bizarre. So model -2 is roughly equivalent to model 1, but faster, sure. Model -3 is between model 0 and -1. Eh? We live in bizarro world. Alright, and then also I'm going to use the full flag name. I think that's just easier for me to remember. So it's self-documenting. Oh, baby. This is visualize, which is something you never want to do. Maybe I shouldn't actually be messing with this on stream just in case I do it wrong. I mean, you already kind of know what I look like. Visualize. Set this to 1. Default 0. Visualize. Yep, that's fine. S is silent. That's true. Silent. Big P is PNP points. I don't really know what that stands for, but 3D fitting to the visualization. Sure. Set it to 1. Oh, actually, you want to set this to 0. The heck? Silent should be 1. Yeah, okay. Then everything else should be fine. Right? And then we'll add the model somewhere. Let's do this. We can just add whatever. ML model. I was trying to think of a word that wasn't model, because model actually has a separate meaning inside of this application. Because, you know, of course, these are 3D models, but these are machine learning models, so they're different. Type now. Face model. So we just bail out early as soon as possible. Tracking GUI descriptor. Just add in one of those. Once again, the farther and farther I go into my programming career, the more I'm actually a bigger fan of just giant mega files. Previously, I liked breaking everything up into different files, but that's because I was, you know, Java programmer. So it is not a Java application unless every single class has its own file, no matter how small. So this is going to be called model. Yeah, I mean that's fine. HBox container. Tracking GUI descriptors. So camera select. How does camera select do it? Yeah. This will work like the camera select. So how the camera select currently works. Let me get rid of this really quick. So go here, here. This will just boot up. So this is debug mode, by the way, so it doesn't matter. OpenC face. So this is an option button. So what I'm thinking is I'll do roughly the same thing. So here's your option button. It shows you the option after you press it. I only have one webcam plugged into my PC, but if you are tracking from a laptop along with an external webcam, you should have more than one. Or if you're on Linux, I just list everything that's under your under dev video. So I think most Linux computers have at least 2 video outputs, where I think one is just the dummy video output, and then the other one is your actual video camera. So option button. All right, so that's your option button. Expand OB. Hint tooltip is equal to a multi-line string. Tracking model to use. Strip edges. I suppose these should all be strip edges as well. But I think they display just fine. I haven't checked in a little bit, actually. It's possible they no longer display fine. No, yeah. That's fine. So we don't need to strip edges. It should just be okay. Tracking model to use. Let's see. Open cface readme GitHub for an explanation. The tracking models. Sure. Just pass it off to somebody else. So it's no longer my problem. OB get pop up. This is roughly the same stuff. Index pressed. On camera selected. And then this is on model selected, I guess. Yeah. That should be fine. On camera selected. Right. So this takes an index, doesn't return anything, that's fine. Now remember, for option buttons, you always want to do index pressed, not item pressed. Because it's a weird design quirk in how Godot works. So they expose both the item index, so the it's like an array, right? The index of the item. And then there's also the item number. And item numbers can actually be assigned arbitrarily, regardless of the index. But all the callbacks use index, right? So there's no reason to use the item number. From what I can tell. I couldn't think of anything else. Actually, I don't think you need this either. I think this, like, it should just load into place, because everything else, like line edit change, these all work. But I'm not sure where I store these. It's possible I do hang on to it. Hold on. So in tracking.gd, do I hold on to those? I don't remember. From descriptor. This one needs to be wrapped. Well, we'll get around to it. Well, we're not going to get around to it. We're going to do it right now. safely wrap this, and then we just need to check if res is error. And I'll do this. There we go. So this is to prevent null pointer errors. I can actually do this as well. I can reuse the res. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I did the C++ stuff for. So this safely singleton is actually implemented in C++, so it should be very, very fast, even though it does involve a little bit of overhead, but unfortunately GDScript does not have try-catch. And something I learned while I was researching, like how would you implement try-catch if you had to implement it? And it's like, oh, actually try-catch doesn't have any runtime overhead, but it does have memory overhead, and also prevents certain optimizations as well, because like anything that's inside of a try block, it cannot be, it's not like inline, but it's something like that, right? Right, that code inside the try block cannot be optimized because of the try catch nature, right? You need to be able to walk up the call stack. Whereas, you know, errors in other parts of the application usually just lead to a crash, which is fine. So I think this is okay. From descriptor, crash boom, yeah. Code goes boom. GD file, and then there's JSON, but I don't really use the JSON one, but it is possible to write JSON and just kind of like compose your UI and hope it's good enough. I'm thinking about getting rid of this and just having the GD part. Does this have an entry point, or do I just create this as a node? Oh, I do just create this as a node. So this is completely extraneous. This part, not necessary in the least. Just optimize it like that. So we don't have an unnecessary load instruction anymore. Cool. This one will be roughly the same. And my VM completely crapping out. You know, a slight hit to morale. I'd be lying if there wasn't a hit to morale, because this mostly that was like the only thing I wanted to do. But here we are. Also, really quickly, ignore this. I think my T key is double pressing sometimes. Or maybe it's just my index finger that's double pressing. I hit space twice in a row. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, it's weird. Even though I'm like a musician or whatever, casually. Motor control, not that great. At least with my right hand. Because I always press spacebar with my right index finger. Well, not always, but most of the time. Sometimes I'll press it with my left thumb if it's inconvenient. Okay. On camera selected, and then on model selected, we'll just need to push some stuff somewhere. Var ML model is equal to AMCM get data. Oh, and then I forgot to change this stuff. So config keys, open cface, camera name. So this should be taken out because I've replaced this with a constant. Open cface camera name really quickly. Config keys. That should be okay. Oh, know why I did it like this. And then this should be config keys, camera index. Yeah. Yeah. Camera index is the only one that really matters, but it's possible that your actual camera name will change between reboots. I know it does change on Linux, which is why I try to be more careful than not. Open cface camera. What does that map back to? Oh, that'll probably be fine. It'll figure it out. So the config name that I'm passing in is wrong, but it'll figure it out. Actually, we can just go here, mess with the metadata. Oh, actually, it has been camera name for a while, huh? Neat. I was accidentally correct. Okay. So it's camera name, Python path, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll have model, open cface model. Yeah. Okay. Keys. Model if type of model is equal to type nil. Then we just assume that there's no data for that, and we'll just try to use a default value, which I'm currently using as, I think it's model 3. Model. That's max threads. Where's model? Mirror inputs. Model. This uses default 3. Okay. Equals 3. That's an integer. Just gotta remember to cast it because sometimes Godot will think it's a float. It does the JavaScript thing. It's like, yeah, you know. It could be a float, I don't know. Send it, dude. Or at least I've seen bug reports about that happening, which is why I'm very, very strict on static typing for integers and floats. Okay. I think that's it, yeah? Oh, I need to select it first. Right. So, how many possible things are there? There are from -3 to 4. So I think I can actually just grab this stuff. It's BSD licensed, by the way. Possible ML models. some sort of array, slap all of these into there, and then for model num in possible ML models, we'll do, how do you add? It's pop up, oh, add check item, right. Add check item. Model, I think, right? Or maybe it should be, let me think. I could do this as a dictionary and then also include the description as well. You know what? Let's do this as a dictionary just so I can have an inline description. If only for, you know, my own sanity. So -3, blah, blah. This will be -2, blah, blah. And then we'll change those to strings. Although you are allowed to have an integer key. But it's better just to convert it to, or have these initialized as strings anyways, right? Because add check item, this requires a string, so I'll be converting it to a string no matter what. So I'm just doing it this way really quickly. So now, please. Okay. So what did this have to say about each option? I'm gonna switch to vertical screen again. Wink optimized, sure. Wink optimized. This is the default. What's 2? What's special about number 2? Slightly faster than 3. Slightly fast. I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for any of these except for number 4. I don't know. Is it like this is toaster? Better than toaster? Or higher quality than toaster? Higher. Actually, is that that's what VC Face calls it, right? Oh, I don't want to steal from there. We'll call it potato. Everyone loves potatoes. Potato. Slightly faster than. But slower. Slightly faster than default. But lower quality. Use duck language, faster than a duck. I don't know, like what would you put as duck, right? Because number 3 is the default. So if I put duck as 0, would that imply that duck is like very low quality? And then these other ones just don't make sense to me, or the naming scheme doesn't make sense to me. Roughly equivalent to 1, but faster. Between models 0 and 1, and then -1 is, what is -1? There's no explanation for -1. I don't know, faster, I don't know. Oh, works best for your duck model, so no face tracking, just head. Oh, you know what? That does make sense. That does make sense. Although I do already have a naming scheme for like potato stuff. So like this is friendly potato stream. This is, oh, this is actually stream stuff runner, so that doesn't count. I guess I only have one potato thing. We'll keep it like this for now. Whatever. So keys, add check item. So this should be papa colon papa. So model number and then possible ML models, model number, like that. So this way we'll do a little string formatting. So we'll grab the number, format it, insert a colon, insert a space, and then insert the value here. So that should be okay. Should be fine. And I just gotta check what the model number is. Or how would I know? Pop up gets item. This is a pop-up menu. I'm kind of doubt that this will, yeah. Control click doesn't do anything for me here, so let's go here. Pop-up menu. How do I get a specific one? Oh, I need to go through every single item ID. Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, we can do if model number I guess I'm going to be storing it as a string. How do I store the other number stuff? So this is stored as a float, but no, this is stored as a string actually. This is stored as a zero, no. What are the various types? So type nil. Okay. So the camera index is actually stored as an integer, so I should probably store this as an integer as well. If model number to int is equal to ml model. Oh, and I also set this as an int here. To ml model, then we'll do pop up get item, or maybe it's just set item checked pop up get item counts -1 true. Yes. Yeah, something like that. So here we'll populate the model options with all of these. So these are taken straight from the OpenSea face, I guess arg parse kind of stuff, with my own flavor text on top of them. And then after we add the check item, we'll always do a check on the check item to see if we should set it as, you know, pre-checked. It's beautiful. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't need to update anything, that's fine. Yeah. We do need to do, oh no, I've already connected that, so that's, yeah, I think that's it, yeah. Now it's just here on model selected. What do I do here on camera selected? I do need to grab the pop-up again. I think this could actually be optimized by just passing around the pop-up, but for now this is fine. It's equal to ob get pop-up. So pop-up, set item, checked index, not pop-up is item I don't think this is actually correct. Because I think if I go into here, open up OpenC face, and I click on that, yeah, I should not be able to unselect myself, yeah. And it doesn't unselect itself, even though that's kind of what this is implying. How strange. Maybe you're not able to unselect yourself. Pub sub, publish. Or maybe actually this might be incorrect. Yeah. Yeah, that might be incorrect. Because honestly, I have not tested this with multiple cameras. Probably should. Yeah, what I should be doing, I think, is this. So just set this to true every single time, and then we'll grab the of our last model. AMCM get data config keys camera index. And then we can also guarantee that this exists. So I actually don't need to have the in-between step either. The pop-up set item checked. This one, which is guaranteed to give me back a integer or an integer. Instead of false. Yeah, that's technically more correct. So we need to do the same thing here. Grab the data. Pop up set item checked. Whatever this is, and then set it to false. Because we always initialize, we always guarantee that we have some data unless you... I actually don't know. I actually don't know how you would not have data here unless you like poked at the data using the debugger. Or not even the debugger, but like the runtime REPL, aka debug console. I'm getting my terminology all kinds of twisted. Because there is like, what I'm doing right now, like when you run it in the editor, that's debug mode. But I also have a thing called the debug console, which works at runtime. So I guess there are two ways that you could poke at the data and then cause a hard crash. Two of them will work in debug mode, and only one of them will work in release mode. And it's the name is slightly unintuitive. You know how it goes. I think that's fine. So if I start this up now, well, not now. I need to do vbox add child model, something like that. Start me. Tracking. Oh, non-existent function. That's right. That's right. So set item. Where was it? Did I misspell something? This happens sometimes. Did I not save something where I should have saved something? What was the error? Set item check in pop-up menu 146. 146. 146. 14 check. Checked. Okay. An ED. Tracking, blah, blah. So it's not showing up, but that's fine. Now it's showing up. Cool. It should be doing that on every single run though, but for whatever reason, when it loads in, it doesn't load in correctly. So why is that? So these are runtime loaded, by the way, so that's not a problem. Which means that we can do something like am logger debug hello. We go back to here, Should see something in the logs, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it never runs to begin with. Because I do all the initialization properly, I think. Go here. Should see something in the logs now with a debug log. Yeah. We've set it 6 times. That's pretty good. Another 6 times. Yeah. That's expected, yes. Because we're running it there. But here this never runs because it never finds it, which makes sense because oh, I see. Wait, no, I don't see. No, this is completely wrong. Yes. Because I shouldn't be using the index. I only use the index to get the text. Right. Because, yeah, there's no index 6. I see. That's the fallacy. So what we need to do is grab the item text of the index. So this is the, I don't know, just call it text, right? String is equal to pop up get item text for the given index, and then we can split it. So var, well, we can do it inline, right? Call splits. This is some sort of pool string array. We'll split this on the colon character because I know how I'm constructing it, which is with this part. So we split on the colon, and then we're only looking for the first part of the split. So if split size is less than 2, then we want to do am logger, because we don't have a built-in logger on this thing, although we could add one. It doesn't make a ton of sense to add a logger though, because this is just a, yeah, this is just kind of like a standalone node. So error open C face. Don't need this thing anymore. Invalid model, ML model selected. Right, so now we have our splits, and then we'll just do this. We'll do one more really quick error handling thing. So if splits, so the first part of the splits, what is it called? Is like is valid int. So as int, or no, it's not an integer. It's actually a string. Thank you very much. Is valid integer. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And then actually adding those, like that cast there, is, I don't think it adds additional processing time, even though like the amount of processing that would add, the amount of overhead that would add is minimal. But I actually don't think it even factors in, right? Because it's just all parsing anyways. Yeah. So if not valid integer, then we will logger. ML model selection does not have a valid integer. Valid preceding integer. A valid integer. Yeah. So we don't pass along the index, we pass along the split thingamajig to int, because it's a string. So we can go back to here. Tracking, open cface, Still not giving me the correct thing that I'm looking for. You can still click on stuff though. No errors there, but then when we save, what does this give me? Yeah, see, that's right. Is it not gonna load in properly though? It's not gonna load in properly. So the value that's saving is now correct, right? 3 is the default, but here, model num int equals ml model. So this should be an integer, and then model number 3. I don't know. Just give me a print debug. Something like that. So it's negative 3, 3, negative 2, 3, negative 1, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. I wonder if it's trying to compare these things as a, like, I wonder if it's comparing an integer to a float. So it's what I was talking about earlier, actually, is that Godot is a bit too eager to cast integers to floats. So you need to be very specific and very careful when you're working with integers and floats. But nope, that's not it. I thought it was. Turns out it wasn't. Am I not setting it as checked? This logic makes sense to me. ML. Oh, it's not ML. No, it is. Yeah, because we cast this to an integer. Actually, it's pretty interesting how this works. So it will kind of do like a fuzzy cast to an integer. Yeah, you know, I've never noticed that. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, you can actually call 2 int on that and it will give you 1 instead, which is doesn't make sense to me. I feel like that should just blow up, but whatever. Set item checked. Go here, open up the logs. Tracking. Yeah, that is so strange. Oh, I shouldn't have closed it. But, okay. So just run me again. You know, I've realized I didn't actually change the splash screen either. I should have changed the splash screen. Yeah, so it's checked. It's actually working as expected. It's just not giving me. It's not setting it as the current item. So how do I do that? Oh, I need to set the text. OB set item. No. Hey. Oh, it's just regular text. Item text. So let's do it like this really quick because we do need to reuse it. So slap that there. Item text. Yeah, and there we go. Item text. Okay. What a silly mistake. Well, it is kind of interesting, right? How this will just do it for you. Yeah. So I don't need to write any code, but when you initialize all the pop-up options, you do need to manually set it. But after that, it just handles everything for you. Interesting. Interesting. Cool. Then to demonstrate that this works, I suppose I should be careful about how I do this, just in case I messed up one of the inputs. This could actually show my webcam, or show the actual feed. So you can see my beautiful visage. Nope, nothing there. It's borked. I see errors in the console. Can't fork. And then set item checked. -1, -2, and 1 is out of bounds. That's also very interesting. Which ones are those? So -2 is out of bounds. -3 is apparently, no. -3 is also out of bounds. Yep, -3 out of bounds. How am I doing this? I thought that was okay. Maybe it isn't. Hold on. Because I should be using the actual index. And then we get the item text of the index. But after that, we don't do anything. I see. I see. It's because I'm storing. I store the literal value of the item, so -3. But then now I'm trying to set it. I'm trying to uncheck it using the literal value, but I should be using the real value, which is just the order that they're in. So this is, you know, -3 is actually 0, -2 is actually 1, etc., etc. So I suppose I could hide that. Is there a way to get the current checked item? Pop up, get, no. Is there a way to check to see if an item's already checked? Where's my pop-up menu? Let's get current index. Returns the index of the currently focused item. Okay, we can do that. That's actually a bit better now I'm thinking about it. So, current checked item. Or I guess we'll just call it current index. So I'll need to change this in 2 places. So pop up, get current index. Current index is less than 0. No item was previously selected. This is likely a bug. Yeah, so that should blow up, but that's probably fine. But we can always wrap it in an else, just to be safe. Do the same thing here. Yeah, just a big copy and paste job. Tracking. So I can save as -3, but we can start as default, or actually even like wink optimized. And then it's going to give me a cannot fork. It's going to give me an error when it tries to stop it, which is fine because nothing was running in the first place. So now the only error we should have is cannot fork. So now the problem is here. Oh, it's because of this thing here. Okay, so we do need to slap in the ML model, stringify it, and then maybe that'll work. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me too much information about why it's not able to, or why it failed to fork the process, if that makes any sense. Okay, so stop, blah, blah. What's going on? So cannot fork. What's different about this as opposed to what I was previously using, which was here, my other window. Oh, it's because I need to pass in the context. That's right. That's right. Context path is to am em get context for open C base and then this is a result. Okay. Logger error. Okay. So your context path is equal to res unwrap. Oh, thank you very much, Outfrost, for the raid. Much appreciated. How was your stream? How was your stream? I'll be awaiting the raid after your messages. Or was the messages the after the after, or was that the message after these messages? This. It's kind of like, you know, please leave a message after the beep, and then just no beep. Is that what's going on? Alright, so we'll do this, and we have two things. Slap this into there. So this is the dream. So we'll have context path, and then we'll just kind of decide whether or not it should be an exe or just a binary that's started by the OS. It was good thanks to a pacifist jam. Ooh, another game jam. Or a game jam. I know the GMTK jam was like last week or something like that. It was a self-referential joke. I'm sorry, no jokes here. The only joke allowed is me. That's not a good one. Feels bad, man, etc., etc. What I'm working on is more or less the same as always, but we're doing VTuber development stuff. I have an alpha out for Windows. It definitely works on Windows because I've tried it before. Was trying to get the Linux stuff working if I could pack all the Python code into its own like self-contained binary. Unfortunately, that looks like it's going to be a bit more difficult because I broke my VM for some reason. I kind of know why, or I think I know why it broke. Context path. Oh, I see. All right, just kill it. Unwrap context path. Understand is hosting it. I'm making an FPP parkour platformer in Godot. Just got done baking all the things. What's an FPP? I know FRP, functional reactive programming. FPP. Free pizza poppers. Fish pancake process. First person perspective. You know, that makes sense. I was gonna say, why not say FPS, but it's I guess you're not shooting anything. That makes sense. First person perspective. And you can't just say FP. I forgive you. I forgive you. We all make mistakes. It's not your fault. Pacifist. Yeah. I hope you'll forgive me for my lack of understanding. I endeavor to do better in the future. Alright. I made a few changes. Just get out of the way of the camera just in case it starts showing stuff on screen. Okay, I think we're fine. So it was running in theory. Maybe not. It did say the face tracker was started, but then nothing showed up. So maybe there's not even a thing to start. No, it does work. It's just that model 4 doesn't work. I don't know why model 4 doesn't work. Seems a bit weird to me. I don't know. We can try the other options as well. Have a -2. Oh, it's beautiful. It even is able to detect blinking. Look at that. And then this should be like really, really fast. Is it tracking your blinking? It is. It is. Look at this. So if we load in a VTuber model, should be fine. Something I still need to think about is that like loading in a new model does wipe out your entire GUI states, which is probably fine. Yeah, so if you do it like this, look at that, break your neck. Like so, look at that. And it's only tracking at 12 FPS as well. So if I turn up the tracker FPS, it does track like blinking a lot better. It tracks your mouth a lot better. Yeah. So it is free and open source, by the way. Everything is on GitHub. Look at that. Wow. Alpha's out. If you're running on Windows, it will work. Linux, you're gonna have to wait. I need to figure some stuff out for that. The quality modifiers are not implemented in whatever release is out for the alpha, but it's pretty easy to add new stuff to the stuff. It's pretty easy to add new features now, mostly because everything is broken out into modules, so everything is loaded at runtime, which is somewhat unusual, to be sure. But I can demonstrate that working by closing this, going into VPupper. I don't need to actually re-export anything, I think. What did I change? If I changed one of the core things, I will need to re-export. Okay, so yeah, I did change something in screens. What's the diff? Yeah, wait. No, actually, it doesn't matter. Okay. So grab resources, go to export, paste that into there, replace the files, grab this, grab this. These are the only two things we need. Go to apps, make a temp folder, just to demonstrate that it's not using a hard-coded path or a relative path to the res directory. Look at that. So create this. It is using the data from my user data directory. So I could clear that, but I'm not going to. You kind of know how it works. Load in the Alicia model. Look at this. So this is all running at runtime. So it's really easy to add new functionality to the application. Always makes me a bit nervous when we're starting the track. Yeah. So if I were to go to resources, extensions, and then just remove OpenCFace, then you would not have that as a tracking option. Look at that. So yeah, and then all the configuration stuff is just kind of slapped into here. So the idea is that you should be able to, you know, if you want like another tracker, then you just got to add it. If you don't want a tracker to be there anymore, then you just delete it. Something like that. Hot reload? Yeah, basically it's a hot reload kind of thing. So for example, remote control server, I can do something kind of weird here. So for that, this says placeholder, right? Then, remember this is running in release mode. Do ASDF. Actually, this is the wrong, no, this is the right one. Or the correct one. Oh, hold on. Maybe not. So stop the tracker. Set the model as default. I need to rethink that UX because it's not the greatest. Yeah, now it reloads itself again. So now it's ASDF. And once again, this is running in release mode. Note this helps. I was able to use PyInstaller on OpenC based Linux. It does give me an error when trying to run it. Cannot open shared object file. No such file or directory, but it does build. Interesting. Well, I think it shouldn't be an SO file, right? I think that's the biggest thing. It needs to be an executable binary. .so files are shared objects. So it's equivalent to a DLL, but there should be some sort of executable, some sort of binary. So if you know, chmod plus exit. Yeah. Maybe it didn't bundle your Python distribution with it. Tries to load the SO and oh yeah. So you have the binary, but it's looking for a .so file that doesn't exist. Yeah. Okay, so you're not trying to run the .so file, but you do have a binary. I'm not sure what to do about the libpython so object not existing. That's a tricky one. It shouldn't be super complicated, I think. I don't know. That's me completely talking out of my butt. I have no idea. Anyways, check this out. So this is potato mode, by the way. It's not able to detect blinking, but actually, the eye tracking is not bad. If you run in potato mode, it's kind of working. I wonder if I can manipulate some of the model stuff. So gaze strength 1. Raw eye rotation. Yeah, it's not so bad, I think. Yeah, that's actually really good, even though it's you don't have blinking anymore. Did it compile with Python 3.10 instead of 3.9 though? Yeah. Well, the problem is that there's no .so file, so I would need to take a look. I'm not sure. Yeah, look at that. The eye tracking is pretty good on the lowest setting. This is me looking to the right, looking to the left, looking up, looking down. Then this is me doing, is this counterclockwise? No, this is clockwise, circles with my eyes. This is hurting. I feel like I'm going cross-eyed trying to do this. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I think this is a good feature, yeah. That's a good thing you were here, Demuriel. Good feature. Looks like it does work. I just need to update the version of OpenC Face that I'm shipping, with each thing. All right, so we'll kill that. Allow it to close itself. That's pretty successful. I just need to get the Linux thing out. That's the last thing. And then I can test this part. Because in theory, this should just work. Maybe. In theory, that should just work. It's so much cleaner now. But then instead of, having the big match statement between like Windows and X11 and OS X. It's been replaced with this kind of gross, you know, get data, and then we just check to see if there's data or not. It's still not too bad though. And it fits all within 500 lines. It's only this part that I absolutely hate. This is super gross. But we'll get back to it. So what changed? There's a VNV. We can get rid of that. Venv git restore assets VRM models. I think that's fine. Git commits, add all message. Add ML model selector for OpenC face, which is the face tracker. Change how result var is named in tracking.gd. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. That's pretty good. Good feature, good feature. So what else can I do in the 18 minutes I have left? What else? Because there are a few things for sure that are still missing. One is the splash screen is still super scuffed. Props are not implemented yet. Remote control is not implemented yet, but remote control can wait. It's just kind of there just because, as a demonstration of the fact that you can load in arbitrary extensions. So this is your remote control server, blah, blah. And then if you look at the file system, whatever. So you have a config ini file. Oh no, which loads in as a notepad file. Right, so in general, this is just the name, remote control server, and this is the section. It's a GUI, and then there's the entry point, blah, blah. And add GUI as default, true, selectable GUI, whatever, you know. And then here's the actual file that gets loaded in. So I did used to have, in the old version of OpenCFace GD, which is the current version that I'm using right now, there is actually a remote control server that you can enable, disabled by default, and there's no application that exists that's able to take advantage of it. I've pretty much only ever tested it over Postman. It did run kind of just missing some modules that technically it should work fine. Yeah, I think the main thing that it's missing on Linux, assuming you're talking about OpenCFace packed into a PyInstaller kind of thing, the big thing that is missing are these files here. These files here. I don't really know what these do though. But the fact that you're able to run this just using Python anyways tells me that, you know, it must be like a Windows only kind of thing. So is there an NT check? Is there a way to control F on a web page? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it's the D show capture. Yeah, that's why it looks familiar. And so it'll complain about that, I think, right? I'll send you on Discord. Thank you. Wait, are you going to send me the binary on over Discord? I guess I would prefer if you didn't. I'm not going to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to open it. Or maybe I will in a VM. Yeah, this is the D show capture stuff. And then this is if your OS name is NT, which is Windows NT. Kind of weird how that works. Or I guess it's weird how they make the distinction between Windows NT and then like MS-DOS. Just what it's saying it's missing? Okay, thank you. You know, there's a reason why I haven't got a virus in the past. I don't know. It's been a long time since I got a computer virus, and it's because I stopped opening random files from online. I only play games that have like web builds. Yeah. So here's one of the things, and then if the OS name is NT, and then there's a D, some sort of camera arg stuff, blah blah. It will do the D show capture stuff, which I'm assuming D show capture. Where is D show capture actually? Where does it import that? And oh, I see. This is why I hate Python, by the way. Look at this. So you would think if you import something here, it's scoped to this if statement, but that's not actually true. It's actually scoped to the entire file. So here, if OS name is NT, aka Windows, any modern version of Windows, it imports dshow capture. And I was looking for where they imported dshow capture for here, because there's no import statements, right? That's why I scrolled all the way up and I was like, wait, where is it? But no, I'm pretty sure it's just import. It's using this import, even though this is in a different block, or I would consider it to be a different block. Maybe it's not actually a different block. Maybe this is actually how other things work. I don't know. Because I know in some languages, if statements are actually just expressions, so they don't really get their own block. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I can't demonstrate it working in Godot though, because Godot does not really have imports like that. But yeah, the next really big thing is props. Now, I think that's the last big thing that's missing, because this thing, OpenCFace GD, the old version, the 8.0 version, or this is actually the 0.81 version, does have props. And look how ugly the UI is, because I'm just using the default UI. And now for this one, I just took the Godot editor's UI. How nice. Yeah. So this has props. Now I just need to make props work here. I'll think about it though. Think about it. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I don't really have anything else to work on. I guess I'll start looking into the Linux compilation stuff later. Yeah, let's find someone to raid, I suppose. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Now, I'll be live on Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, working on this again, probably. Trying to get a beta release, or hopefully just like a 9.0 release, 0.90 release out. Let's see, we can raid Doohoo. How do I select their name? Yeah, give the channel, follow you, and already. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and on Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. There's a Discord somewhere. I could probably type it into chat, but we're gonna raid Doohoo. They're doing Godot 4 stuff. How fancy. I have a Discord here. You can find all my projects on GitHub. So, virtual puppet project right there, pinned. How nice. There's a alpha release out right now, only for Windows, because I do need to figure out what's going on with the Linux stuff. But yeah. Get sent. Goodbye.